Welcome, I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to compare tunes for similarity, and while we were doing dendrograms, we decided to rework the pipeline somewhat to allow for user interaction that affected between the input and the output. And part of that we've run across is you can't really do two updates in the same cycle, and we were trying to set the initial selection, the initial node selection when we changed inputs. And so with that, we did an async update, but our tests are all broken now because they weren't expecting that. So we need to clean that up a bit. And oh, before I forget, I'll try to remember to do this again towards the end. No sessions next week. Let's see, that's the week of the 15th, May 15th. Starting May 22nd, we're going to spend a week, probably a week, maybe 2 weeks on a quick calculator. It's going to be a chance to test View Inspector and to try out a few ideas I have. So we'll take a break and from Tune Similarity and do that. I suspect we'll go back to Tune Similarity. I got to see if I can get some more input or feedback from my one user. Okay. But yeah, so don't look for me next week. The week after, we'll have a nice quick project. Okay. So we have 4 failing tests, and yeah, they're all going to be about this reset selection thing. So let's see what the test does. So we create a tune, create a packet from it, run it through, and then we change the selection and run the transform. Basically, we run as if it were the pipeline again. Okay, and let's go look at cluster stage. Yeah, here's that line. We said, oh, if things are changing, if you have new input, you need to do this initial selection as a separately queued item. Okay, in the main dispatch because it affects user interface. All right, now I think what has to happen. Let's see, I pulled up some stuff on XC test expectation, which is what you can use for async stuff. If you've got the actual async await keywords, you can put those in your tests now. But this is, we've done dispatch queue main async. Okay, so we're going to do that. So what we do is we set up a situation, we do the call, and then we got to wait for things. So we create a test expectation, and then we, well, in this case, this one matches what we're doing, dispatch queue main async. We want to make sure that, this is going to be scheduled after the updates that we chose before, and they make some assertions, and then expectation.fulfill tells this text expectation, okay, I did my job. I waited for what I wanted. And then after it's queued, we sit there and wait for the expectation, and we're only to give it 10 seconds in this case. Okay, now the reason for dispatch queue main, that corresponds to the queue we're using, so it makes sense to schedule something there. All right. I often see, I haven't used this very much, but I often see this expectation set up kind of in front. It doesn't have to be, but so we're going to do that same kind of thing. Let's see. So it's this. Why is that selected elements empty? I wonder. Well, I guess it's empty because there's only one tune, so there are no clusters. All right, so let's set our well, it says we can do it after, so let's let expectation equal XC test expectation, and we can give it a description. This is wait for initial selection, okay, and then we're going to do a dispatch queue .main.async. All right, and I just want to see things fail first. Okay, test failure is caught. All right, I do want to make sure of that, and then we do expectation.fulfill, which reaches back to this context and marks it. Oops, marks it as done, and then we do a wait. And we'll give it a timeout. We've only got one expectation, so that goes here. Timeout 1.0. Let's well, shouldn't take, yeah, a second seems like plenty. Okay, now this is still going to fail here. I'm just leaving that there for the moment. Eventually that'll migrate here. But first I want to see this and description. Okay. First I want to see that the test expectation will trigger the failure and then put it somewhere it's caught as far as XC test is concerned. All right. Just, I don't use this very often. I want to make sure it's failing properly. And line 51 will fail as well, but shouldn't matter as much. Okay, there it is. Failed test failure is caught. Okay, so let's move this up there. Now this is all, I would say it all feels a bit clunky. I wonder if we need to do this up here too. Okay. All right, first let's see this test pass. It may or may not with this problem. Okay. I guess because we're, oh yeah, the second one goes in the queue as well. So the second one can't be done until, this won't happen until everything's done. All right. And packet 1, packet 2. Okay, 2 separate packets with new IDs. All right. Okay, there's the pattern. Can I make this better? Well, what I think I want is the stage and the expectation. So let's see if we can extract a method. Okay. Are they all stage.selected elements? Oh, you get it. Okay. Stage, and then let's give it a list of empty stuff. Stage. And I'm just going to check this set, I think. Yeah, set of sequence number. Okay. So we'll make this a set. Yeah, although... Oh, gosh, I hate to kind of get started down that path. Yeah, I would definitely use it in the test. I think because I don't think we have a need for it in our production code just yet. So I'm gonna hold off, but it's not. Yeah, I hesitate because you give me such good advice over the last few weeks that not going with it has cost me more than once. But I think I will do this for now. And if it becomes a bigger problem or it becomes useful in the production side, I think there's still room for it. Or I think there's still room for pipeline improvements, I guess. So yeah, I'm going to hold off. Okay, maybe I can be even more explicit. To be established. Yeah. Okay. Selected elements as expected. Expectation fulfill. Okay, that helps the test a bit. All right, this is the same with different numbers. Oh, okay, let's check. Ooh. Empty. Okay, we create a tune. Well, this is the same packet. With one tune, I don't see the difference. Oh, same packet versus different. Retain selection if transforming the same packet. Okay. That's a good question. But I don't think it can. Yeah. Okay. I think this cannot is I don't think this test is actually right anymore because the selection now, I mean, it's coming from the clustering. When you set selection, if you don't have but one tune in there, you don't have a selection because we're selecting clusters. So I think this code is wrong. We got by with it because we weren't really enforcing that before, but I think we are now. I think I can. Let me put multiple, at least two tunes in. Okay. Well, if I put 3 in 0, 1, 2, well, that's going to select 0, 1. Well, I guess it could do any combination of them, but 0, 1, and 3. Okay, so let's select 3, 1, 0. Okay. How about 302? Okay, and that's not, I don't know, that's not a real cluster, so that's a little iffy. Okay. So 3 tunes, packet comes in, we change the selection, we reset the input, we transform it, and then that. Okay, let's see. No. Right, he's not really in the matrix. Let's select everything. So there's two leaves. One cluster is 3, and then the other cluster is 4. The cluster of the 2 plus the 1. Okay, and I guess I could put these in order even if they are set. Now, by default, it'll go down to selecting only the two elements, the cluster with the two elements. All right, let's try this again. No, well, that's a great argument, but sequence number -1. Okay. I'm wondering if it's the tunes are messing it up. Where is it dying? Set input. It's dying on the first one. Okay, yeah, so let me see this constructor parts. Okay, we can. Can leave that out, simplify it a little bit. Don't know. These tunes have no notes, so they're suspicious in that sense. Yeah, that may be the problem. We need something to compare against. Yeah, because it doesn't. All right. Let's see, are we creating any more tunes in here? Yeah, let's do this sort of thing. Okay, that creates one for each. All right. Yeah. Tunes. Okay. Let's see if. Hopefully we get past this. Okay. 0 is not equal to 2. So, we've structured things so it never, if it's empty, it doesn't even make a cluster. It's only there when it's got a cluster that comes out of it. So it just returns an empty or a nil. Well, it's an optional, so it returns nil when there's no cluster. But this is 420. So to me, that sounds like it did not retain its selection when transforming the same packet. All right, let's put that one off. We'll leave it failing for now. Output. This is different. Okay. So, okay, so what's going on here? I guess it's making sure. Oh, transform puts the same ID. Now, wait a minute. What line is actually failing here? Is it this one? Something's weird. Okay, so the count is different. Okay. Well, those two places, at least that's the right place to mark it. I don't know. Okay, and then this one fails. It used to give you the messages down here where they were relevant, and unfortunately had to go back up to the top to the method. Retain selection, send selected nodes with updated ID. Okay, now this one, 0 not equal to 2. Okay, I guess I'm wanting to make this generic over this. And it's nothing goes to nothing. I'm going to add that in and then move this around. So I'm going to make this thing put its assertion in. Expected here was I guess I gotta look at what it was. I think it was empty. Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll just take these arguments off. I always forget where I put this. I think it's after. Okay. All right. So now I can do that. Okay. Okay. So I think with that, I've made this more generic here that we're just calling whatever assertion is passed in, or, well, a closure that has assertions in it. Okay, and then run this class again. I don't think that we've necessarily fixed anything. Some of these may be real problems. Okay, we're back to 4 failures. I guess that's 4 assertion failures. Okay, those are okay. Reset selection with a new packet. Okay, then this one. Let's check this too. Now, set selection. That's an async call. I mean, it's a UI triggering call. Okay, so in that one, the element should be 0, 1, 3. I'm assuming it's going to take the first 2 and match them up, and then element 2, oh wait. Yeah, okay, so it's got 4 tunes, 0, 1, 2, 3, so 0, 1, 4 should be the first selection, I think. All right, and then do I need to wait here? I don't think so. Okay, so I expect this one to pass now. 240. Oh, they are different. Oh, yeah. 2 and 4. Okay. Yep. They're a perfect match. So 0, 1. Wait. Yeah, 0 and 1. We threw away the length restriction, so CDC AB matches CDC perfectly. So 0, 2, and 1, 3 each pair up. Okay, so I will believe that in myself. Yeah, CDC is equal. Okay. Okay, so that was a question of not waiting partway through. Okay. So now I'm going to run the whole set. Okay. At least the lines are complaining at kind of the right place. Selected nodes count 2 is not equal. Well, output 1. All right, let me register puzzlement because we just tested this produce 024 after set input and stage.transform, right? So what's the difference here? Oh, well, one thing's silly. I'm recomputing tunes just to get tunes. Okay, so I don't think that's the issue. So we set input packet. All right, build a stage, build those 4 tunes, create a packet with those tunes, set input on the packet transform, and check the selection. Okay, stage, tunes, packet, input on the packet, stage transform, and then the output, tunes count. Oh, interesting. Well, the selected elements might be right, but what if the transform is not? Okay, let's stop here, and I want to look at stage and oh, I don't have this selected transform. Okay, let's look at output 1. Yeah, I don't understand why it would expect 0 tunes. That if there are if there are any clusters, there ought to be more than 1 tune. Okay, we expect this to be 2, so 2 leaves, and it is 0. Okay, so, well, that doesn't affect this test. I mean, this test doesn't care. But the situation is down here, we're checking that, and we do care, and it's coming up 0 instead of 2. Okay, so I guess we want to look at the transform. Yeah, let's stop here. I'm puzzled. These tests passed when we were doing everything synchronously, but that seems like it's, I don't know. Cluster node. Yeah, it's got the whole tunes coming in, and then it takes a selection of them. Okay, so current input. Right. So let's input dot tunes dot count should be 4. Okay, because all 4 tunes were there, and then you would do tunes, take the tunes, add their index, and then let's look at selected elements. Maybe that's wrong. It is. Okay, so I'm puzzled. So my interpretation of set input is that it would take in these 4 tunes and then select the first match, which we know is 0, 2 with a parent of 4. I would have expected those to be selected. So let's go back here. Set input. It's not equal. I would expect that. So I guess what am I worried about? Well, what if this is not done when we run transform? Then the selected input might start out empty. Is the tune stored in output 1? Yeah. He's a packet, so he's holding the tunes that should be selected. Okay, I'm going to try a little trick here, which may backfire, but so my suspicion, I guess, is that it takes a little time from set input before stage transform can really run, which is definitely a problem. Yeah, so tunes output 1 should have the filtered list of tunes. Okay, so if you select a diamond, you only get the children of that diamond, and those leaves that are selected should be the tunes that are in the output packet. Okay. So this statement is going to force a pause here. And yeah, let's do that. Now we're getting into more async stuff and like, oh, maybe I should. Okay, I don't need to stop here. Okay, now let's look at output 1. All right, so my problem is I'm not as familiar with, well, like the user interface stuff. I guess I wouldn't be in this boat if I knew what I was doing fully there, but because I had that double update without sweating over it until it really became obvious it was a problem. So I think what's happened then, set input is trying to reset the initial elements, but before it even got scheduled, we ran transform and said you didn't have any selected elements, okay, because initial selected was empty, and then maybe down here somewhere it finally caught up, but it's too late for this assertion. But I think it may be. All right, so what I don't know, and I'm partway through Daniel Steinberg's book on async, and clearly I need to finish it and start over. Where we're going wrong, well, I don't know if I can make this function async, I guess. It like, how does async interact with the UI, I guess is my problem. It's reasonable for us to do this. Right. So this has to happen after the consequences of selecting a cluster are dealt with. And so I can't just wait for this here. It really has to be outside somewhere. And now let me look up dispatch queue. I probably should have put Swift in there, but we look at. Okay. attempting to synchronously execute work on the main queue results in deadlock. Okay. Right. This is what I'm wondering if I could do. Like, whoops. If our task requires UI updates, so it puts the work on, it does the work on the main thread. Then the last step is we said, oh, by the way, I have more tasks I want to do on the main thread. Queue those up and do them. I think it may be, I don't know when you would switch and say this is an async method. But maybe that may be what I need to do, that I want someone to wait for this. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Okay, now this is async. So whoever calls it is gonna be responsible for doing a wait. Oh my. Okay, so I gotta do this in the parent class too. Async. Okay, now that's gonna break a bunch of call sites. Expression is async but marked with a wait. Okay. Now, I think, no. Yeah, it's like throws. Once you put it in, you've poisoned everything. I just don't know if putting something on the main queue asynchronously doesn't tell me that this runs on the main queue, which seems like I need to know that. Because if I say await on the call of this one, like in pipeline, wherever it got off to, okay. I could see awaiting here. I don't know why it's not complaining that I don't, honestly. Oh, there we go. Not support currency. Transform. I don't think I can. The reason is, like, I'm trying to do this stuff. It's not so much this method. It's all the stuff that's going to fall out on the UI because I've changed the cluster. Can you wrap the code and set input and dispatch? Right. So, I mean, I think the order of things, this code runs setting cluster is published. So, other things, downstream things have to do it. Oops, where I got to. They have to update before I do the initial selection. And I think now I'm paying the price that after I do that initial selection, I need to make sure that this is set before I start doing other stuff. And normally, well, the new way is to mark things async. Yeah, I don't want to delay the cluster calculation. And I don't want to delay the UI updates that come from it. I don't think I'm I don't think async is the right thing here. I need someone like Daniel that knows this stuff hardcore and can just tell me. All right, and then transform. I got to take that out, undo these changes I was mucking with. Okay. I thought there should have been more, but okay. Super input. Yep. Pipeline. Okay. All right, so I think if I build again, I'm kind of back where I was. All right, so what I think is I'm kind of operating in the old world of it, and there's no indication, like in the method name, that this is really an async trigger. I'm saying I have to know that the caller of setInput, before anybody else starts mucking with it, like transform, they have to have made sure that this thing is done. Okay. And I think that moment is in the pipeline. Let me get this back here a bit. Okay. And I think that's right here. Now, this is unmotivated. Sync. Okay. So this is like an await, but the only reason I have to have this is because this method is forcing asynchronicity, although it's really other stuff that's forcing it. But this is in effect an asynchronous method that has put stuff out there on the main queue, and we really don't want to go transforming until this is done. So this sync should say schedule this and wait for it to finish. So let's say the transform did the cluster updates, and then it triggered the selection updates, and then it puts this method in the queue and says, okay, wait till this one shows up, and then wait till it's done, and it's empty, so it's no big deal to do it. Okay. But I don't, this is kind of if you didn't have queuing right already, this would be kind of a do nothing thing. Create an empty closure, stick it on the main queue, wait for it. It doesn't mean anything, but in the context of setInput is kicking off stuff asynchronously, it does. And this is exactly why they started moving towards this async in the description and all that stuff, so that you knew you had to explicitly do an await or something like that. And if this could be an async method, I would do an await here, and that would be fine. But I don't think I can do that because I'm not trying to wait for the stuff that was, I'm not trying to await the stuff that's being done by the cluster stage, right? I want it to go ahead and do the matrix clustered, and then all the people who update because of it. And then I want to wait after they're done, and after this is done, then I'll do it. Okay, so I think that replaces what I just put in my test up here. I think that is in effect doing this. I mean, this is a more complicated version, but let's see how this does. Okay, so now I'm expecting my 2 to be right. Okay. I should probably just let it run, but okay. Yeah, they're right. Okay, so let's continue this one. Right, that's still the other test we haven't looked at. But now I don't think I need this. Oh, I do. Any caller, any test that's doing stuff like this has to do that same kind of step. Ugly, ugly, ugly. And I can't. Well, I don't know how it manages it. If the UI stuff is all done synchronously from here, then the clustered has a publish method and all the listeners, which is my stage view, dendrogram view. It will do its stuff before I get here, and maybe. Okay, well, I think this line is what these tests need. They need something to enforce that ordering because they fool around with this, the async stuff. Okay, so that. Now maybe there's a way I could bring the, I don't know, give it to stage to do or something like that. Yeah, I could probably do that. All right. So my claim is this test should now pass. No, I still need that here. Okay. I don't know. It feels like I'm going off in a poor direction. Oh, what's the matter? Breakpoint. No. Breakpoint. Okay, I'm just trying to get a handle on what's going on in this thing. I had a little exclamation point somewhere, so it's not happy. What's he doing? X breakpoint. Okay, if he's not happy there, I'm going to run the app and just see if that pipeline gets the same kind of breakpoint. But that does make me think maybe those updates are synchronous. They're done on the same thread. Okay, so open a file. Boom. Okay. It's not the right thing to do. But what if this became sync? So now I'm saying do that. I think this will make it hang if I'm saying wait for these things because I don't know how there's an interaction between the UI events, and are they handled directly on the update of this, or do they go into the queue as well? And I don't really know the answer. Breakpoint. Okay, so that is not correct. I'm puzzled then. This test is okay. Async after in the test. Yeah, that one, but async isn't going to help there. I mean, our wait for does. Right. I think this will be okay. Which I don't see the difference. Oh, I have to do it here too. So I'll use async after. Well, I don't think we care because, I mean, it is a queue. So even if the UI takes that update, so let's say cluster updates, and then because it's a published field, that triggers other things, the UI to say, oh, I've got to do some updates too. And if all it does is get all its events, it could theoretically either do the work right then, or it could put them all in the dispatch queue .main to work on the main thread and get done. But either way, the next thing I do is put something else in the queue after all that. And so the UI updates should all be done by then. And the fact is, it will trigger some UI updates as well. Now, I don't know if there's... yeah. So, okay, so this, I believe, is forcing that wait, but that tells me our code is not. And how will that... Well, he's using expectations. Okay, if that helps. That's a lot of overhead to set up, probably, but it's basically doing this and then waiting on this object. So it forces the wait on the dispatch queue. Now I don't know where wait comes from. Oh, that's XC test. Yeah, I think async after, I could just say, like, if I were doing some sort of animation and, I wanted to kick in some other piece half a second later, I could do async after and schedule it instead of just making it be the next thing on the queue. Right. Now I don't know enough on these implementations, like what is wait actually doing to get stuff off the queue, and I don't know if that's an obvious thing to somebody who knows this stuff. I guess all he has to do is like set a Boolean, and then the wait could be polling for that or something. Or set a notification thing. All right. So I'm not sure where that leaves me. if I do these here, that's all cool, but it's not going to do it in the production code. And we can't do this in setInput, I don't think, because we're letting that method run to its end, process any UI events, and then do it. So if we tried to be synchronous there or wait inside the method, we would block it from going on. Yeah, okay. Well, let's. Yeah, I mean, it's good for that kind of stuff. Right, yeah, this is kind of the suggestion you were making. Right, exactly what we saw. Oh, I could do task.init. Assign the outcome to a property. Yeah. this one hits home. All right. It provides some help. Convert function to async. Well, I'm sure that's a. I mean, it looked like a good article, but I don't think I can make it relate. I don't know. Okay, so I guess let's. So my theory is if I do these between the inputs and the stages, that I have, and the transform, I have dealt with it. All right, so let's run all these. Same packet. Now this is the one I don't know if it's true. Oh, excuse me. All right. I got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think if I'm gonna have 4 songs in here, we used to have 2, I think. 5 and 6. So 0, 0 and 2, 1 and 3 yield 4 and 5, and then 6 above them. And that should be the same down here. I guess what's the wrong value here? Wait for initial selection to be established. I'm going to check that in. Fix test issues in waiting for main queue to finish, preventing double UI update. All right. So I think we've brute forced the tests into being okay. But every one of these empty assertions, well, I don't even have them here. Is problematic to me. Like, that I have to do that. Okay, well, it's time for a break. We'll see if 3 or 4 minutes of trying to clear my head will help any. I'm doubtful, but we'll take that break anyway. See you in a few minutes, and we'll come back and make sure the pipeline works. All right, well, welcome back. I'm not any smarter, but at least we can run the app. Now, one thing that makes me happy is we checked the IDs if input unchanged. So the test did work for that one. I'm glad. All right, now open a file. I don't think we've done anything that would fix. Well, no, I guess we might be fixing it. Okay, so I'll select this. That selects a handful of nodes. If I open this file, it selects 2, but I should be able to select these, and I am. Okay, well, maybe we have addressed it. It sure felt clunky. Go back to no scaling. All right, selecting 2, select a bunch. Okay, well, I mean, this was all intended to make that happen like that. I'm still not. I'm not sure we're out of danger because I'm artificially doing this step here. Yeah, okay, so let's consider this main, sorry, so I guess I convinced myself that this code has to run to completion before it's going to have a chance to run this code. And then when that code runs and all the stuff it triggers runs to completion, then we want to go on and do this step. Okay, so let me consider the callback approach you recommended before. So I can't put a callback here. Because same problem. If I put another line here with the callback, I don't get the value. Usually your callback's got to be, yeah, I don't quite see it. Yeah, I'd have to pass it into setInput. The question is, when would I call it? And I can't call it. I can't call it here because this thing needs its own chance to run through the triggers that will update the UI stuff. So if I duplicated this line, then when I call it, the thing I want to call is transform, which gives me a packet. So it's kind of less convenient to get it there like that. Yeah, both these have to run to completion. That's the only. Now, but like test expectation does, okay, wait. Blocks the current queue. So you have dispatch async. Yeah, if I wait. Okay, let's see what happens on wait. Deprecated. Okay. But I thought, wait, did that example so dispatch queue group is dispatch group. Okay. So dispatch group. Okay, well, this may make sense. Avoid deadlocks by not using the main queue. Okay, so I can't do the wait on the main queue. Which makes sense in a way because the code I'm calling is called from the main queue. So ultimately, so it doesn't make sense for him to wait, I guess. But the group notify. notify is executed after enter and leave calls are balanced. But it does not wait. Completion log. Yeah, so this is. Can I pass return values on completion logs? Okay, dispatch queue. Queue.sync. I'm not going to do that on the main queue though. Okay. Excuse me 1 sec. Okay. Dispatch work item. Okay, Swift 5, dispatch queue global. Yeah, it all seems designed a little bit more for like the image loading or something like that that's happening off the side. Yeah, we just can't wait on the main thread. Return a value from a closure dispatch to a thread. They've gone through this thing so many times. It's just. Okay, so here we're saying we should have completion, right? But the Swift 5 thing. Okay. I don't think that's. No. Yeah, that describes it. We're not getting that purple thing, which is something, but excuse me. Okay. Maybe this is helpful. started. Okay, this may be more promising here. Updating published properties. Execute query is async. Yeah, I know you can do things where you do a task. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those things I know I needed to study deeper and I put it off. Okay. I don't know, like we said yesterday, like it's working, that's something. But I suspect there's a gap. Yeah, I think our pipeline is still vulnerable that things it can start transforming before this set input has really been fully worked on. Okay. I'm gonna make to-dos out of it. Okay, test update of initials. I think we've done that. The last couple of days have really felt like floundering around for me. Okay. So it's the real stuff. Make transform to update packet ID. I think we've done that already. I'll put that down here. Split transform into two steps, pipeline deciding. Well, that's kind of what we're working on now. I guess we've split it and we've decided. Can pipeline use set input and transform separately? Does it need a way to wait between the two? Okay, dendrogram horizontal size. We can come back to dendrogram view. I don't think that's there. Oh, this one is kind of, we're incomplete here. All right, can the cluster elements appear in the same order? I don't think I care. Yeah, I don't think we care too much. I'll drop that one. Right to metadata. That's nice and easy. I think we can make sense of it. All right. So what happens, the stages in the pipeline normally provide some metadata. Now, where's that got off to? My recollection was we displayed it here, but I don't see it. Okay. Let's do parsons code view. Parsons code. No, we need our views. Parsons code report. Result. Okay. We put the stage title and we do a parsons item view. Okay, I'm going to look around for metadata. Whoops. We'll just take text. I'm curious about views that show metadata. Put stage. Okay, let's see statistics. Okay, this one does. Cluster. I think that's probably our metadata. But in this one, you can see we've chosen the input file. We've chosen a cluster. We could also do quantize and filter. Okay, so let's filter the galons. Okay, there's only 8 now. But it's clustered, it's quantized by quarter notes, and it's got this title. So we have this word in there for metadata, but I'd like it to be better. I'm not sure how we can best express what it's doing, but even if all we do is just say it's cluster selected or something like that, I would be fine. All right, so cluster stage. Let's find where it creates our packet. There it is. All right, and I think we can put a simple test in for that. We might already have one. Yeah, we can certainly look at stage for that. Initial selection empty. Okay. Okay, we got a stage, we got a tune, we've got a packet. I don't really care. I suppose I need a couple of tunes just to justify the fact that there's a cluster to select. Okay. So let's, we just did ABC create down here. That's an easy way. Okay, and then we're trying to capture the output. Oops. Stage. Last should be how about selected by or from cluster. Okay, this should fail. Just says cluster, yes. Okay. Cluster stage. Selected by cluster. All right. Oh, from cluster. Okay. Oops. All right. Where are we? Right to metadata. Pipeline owns two parallel lids. That's not really the way we've gone, so I'm going to take that out. Didn't go horizontal view depend on parent view. Yeah. We let's see. Mudshark 666 there gave us some good suggestions on, like, can we simplify our drawing even more based on knowing the level and the clusters? And I think we have some work to do there. The other one was should dendrogram view draw leaves from the connectors? Okay. Brackets. And we gave them the information they needed to do that, but we're not drawing them that way. We're drawing them from a separate list and coordinating them. That can be done. Trying to pick something because we're going to set this aside for maybe 3-4 weeks here. So I'm trying to pick up anything simple and easy. Quantizer, limit the number of measures. That sounds pretty simple. Let's make that our focus. This clustering has been a bit of a bear. Let me see when we started working on that. Clustering, background research. Okay, that was metadata. So April 4th. It's been 5 weeks on clustering. Yeah, okay. Quantizer limit number of measures is going to be a lot fewer. Okay, so let's get Quantizer's view. It's a transform. Well, there's cluster tests. Okay, quantizer settings view. Right, so we say quantized and we have that 1/4 thing. And what triggers the action? Well, I guess that's in quantizer stage. Okay, transform, and we're just mapping tunes to their quantized value. Okay, this function maps the tune. And let's go see it. Okay, take the okay. So quantizer settings view. I guess what I'm imagining is another field that says like maximum measures, and any song should get trimmed to its maximum measures before we quantize it. So we're just kind of limiting that, because you remember we had a couple songs where they were just obnoxiously long compared to the others. They're not giving us any information at that point. We probably get most of it. Like you could probably quantize most of these songs in 16 measures and find out what you wanted to know. Okay, so if quantizer, I guess what I'm saying is there's a maximum measures. If it defaults to 32, I don't know, something nice and moderately large. And when you compute that thing, it should have, any tune should only have that many measures in it. Okay. So let's find the test for quantizer stage. Oops. Quantizer tests and quantizer transform tests. Okay. Yeah, these aren't really stage based, are they? Okay, I guess that other one is more appropriate. Quantizer transform test. Yeah, this one works with the quantizer stage. Okay, it doesn't do a lot, but all right. Oops. We want a new test. Okay. I guess the test is if I give you a maximum measures, then you give me what I want. So maximum measures respected. Okay. Create a packet. There's some metadata. We're going to need a tune. No. What is that thing? Cluster stage. ABC parser.create. Okay. Okay, now I think I can do it like this. Whoops. How about we use musical names? All right, and this one is ABC, D, E, F, G, G, D, 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 D. Okay, there's a 3 and a 2, and let's just do a 1. Okay. So we'll do this with tunes. I don't think we care about the metadata. I don't. Yeah. Okay. So if we transform is that, and then we transform dot maximum measures equals 2. Okay. Then we want to check result dot tune sub 0 dot node count. Yeah. Okay, I can make these simpler. I'll give them the two measures. I'm not 100% sure that the notation supports the two measures, the measure sign in here, but we'll take a chance. Okay, so I'm only going to put one note per measure, and that'll make it easy to get these tune counts. Tuned 0 count should be 2. Time signature doesn't matter. There's a default that's basically free notation. We don't really enforce it. Although I think with it wouldn't matter, but I think with this, I just don't think it's going to matter in this case. Even if they were short, it's legal to be short. It's unusual, but legal. Okay, and so we don't have this field. Where's stage? Okay. Okay. I don't care about those. Okay. This test should fail. Hopefully not, because it's blowing up on those measure signs. And we expect this line to fail. Oh. 8. Okay, maybe my parser is not as forgiving as I thought. Oh, no, it's because we quantized. I think. These are quarter notes. Let's go see this ABC parser create. I believe it's defaulting to quarter notes. Whoops. Yes. Okay. So if I quantize to quarter note level, they're already at quarter notes. Okay. Yeah. So it was filling in notes for those things because I said quantize to 16th notes. Okay. That's more like it. He's got 3. He should be 2. All right. Let's close some of this stuff. Okay, quantizer stage, yes. Okay, maximum measures. All right, and then Um, well, I guess I want to have a limit measures function. Let's see what this thing does again. Okay, he turns measures to measures, right? Okay, so measure map. $0. Sorry, I'm forgetting what Tune wants there. Oh, metadata. Oh, Tune measure map. Okay, where are we using this? That's the guy that's got to do the job. Okay, so I'm imagining something into place that tunes. This iterator should give me a tune, and I've got to produce a tune. Okay, so limit tune. Is taking a tune and a maximum measures of int. Let's just return tune for a moment and make sure everything passes but that one test. Really? Oh, limit tune, return tune. Okay. All right, now. The measures. I guess I want to look at this one. With measure map. I'm interested in this measures. It's kind of tricky to say how many measures a tune has, actually. This gets it to you, but it does it by flattening out the parts. So you have A part, B part, A, B, B, and they're each 8 measures, then that's 5 times 8, 40 measures. But I don't think you can.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I don't think you can. I don't think it's reasonable to apply this and not look at the measures. I don't know. So I almost think you're going to you're going to remove the parts. You're just going to tell it everything's an A part. As far as I'm concerned, this now, is that necessary? Yeah, I think it's necessary, and I think it's okay. So use maximum quarter notes instead. Well, see, I'm mostly concerned with this new thing is just trying to get the measure count. So I don't really care what it considers a measure to be. I just know that it has broken up this song into measures. I'm not involved in what the key time signature is or any of that. I'm just saying this is a song with 70 measures, and I wish it had 24, so I could just kind of limit my comparisons a bit. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like I'm destroying information that I might need later, though. If I flatten it like this, I mean, lots of things do. All that Parsons code stuff we've been looking at, that's all flattened out, so you can see the whole song. Let's maybe limiting measures. It's a 2-part concept, maybe. Like maybe you have to decide whether you should limit measures or not. Okay. So let's make when limiting, all right? And let's also say transform.limit measures is true. Okay, and again, this field doesn't exist. Let's make that field exist. And I'm going to start it out false. Okay, so that's only going to turn on if you turn it on, which we just did. And this test should still fail, of course. But I can write the flip of that test. Well, yeah, do I want to do it that way? I guess I was thinking, oh, I'll just put a little checkbox in there to let you choose whether or not you're limiting measures. Yeah, but 0, trying to think if there's a case where you might want to just eliminate all the notes and not worry about it. And I can see there might be some sort of statistics you're doing on the metadata that you don't care about the notes. Yeah. Okay. So right now I think I'm going to do the checkbox, so we'll see how it looks in the real thing. Okay. But I want to do the flip test when not limiting. Okay. If this is false, these things should get their original measure counts. Okay. And this test should pass now because we're not respecting any of this. Yeah. Okay. So this is a boundary test, or a, kind of a pinning test, I guess you might say. All right. So I think I feel comfortable here saying if limit measures return the limit, otherwise return the tune as is. Okay. Let's do it like that. Okay, so if you're limiting measures, limit the tune, otherwise just return the original tune as is, or pass it on through the map. Okay, same test should fail. Okay. All right, so now I'm comfortable here. Okay, so I want to take tune.measures dot is it a version of first? No. I think it's first. Is there an N? Take, yeah. Is that in here? No. Oh man. Okay. Well, let's look at Swift array. Or maybe it's sequence. I don't want to put a counter in there if I don't need to. Prefix, that's it. Okay, up to specified length containing the initial elements of the sequence. Yes. Thank you. All right, prefix by maximum measures. Okay, so really, oh, that's prefix of measures. Well, that gives me measures, right? I can put it in an array and get the array back. Array of measure. Okay. Yeah, put it in rapid array. All right, and then we're going to return a tune with the The metadata is tune.metadata. Tune. Oh, we're not even producing metadata. Do I have the right? Metadata. Well, I think the tune's metadata should be in there. But the parts is what we're doing differently. Okay. I mean, tune dot. How do you not have metadata? Is that private? Let's say private set. I don't mind you looking at it. Okay, tune.metadata. And the part now is a colon measures. Oops. Measures. String to array of measure to array of type measure transform. Metadata is tune.metadata and then parts. An array of measure to dictionary value of type part. Parts. Character to part. Part dot measures. Okay. And actually, I don't think I need that there. Should be implicit. All right. I think that's going to be it. We'll take our original tune, we chop off the measures, reconstruct it with the same metadata, and only an A part consisting of those measures. Okay, so make Quantizer able to limit measures. All right, and then the Quantizer view. Right, so this text field, HStack. Okay, I'd like to put another piece around that. Now, can I, is it option? No. I always forget there's a way to, I feel like I have a note here somewhere. Control Command Click. Okay, Control Command Click. No, There should be a way to wrap this thing, but I'm just going to do this. That's the first one. Now we can pull that out too, but I also want to do a stack. So we're switching to the view. I'm just trying to get a checkbox and a label. I don't know what it's called, checkbox. That'd be too much to ask. All right, and then a text field. Okay. Well, let's just put the text field. Oops. We'll take this. This is limit measures. Game Moresque, welcome back. We worked through most of the cluster stuff. I still have a couple questions in my head, but we're switching over to something to limit the number of measures in a song so that when you start comparing long songs to short songs, you can kind of limit the difference a little bit. So we're in the UI phase of doing that. All right, so stage dot maximum measures, format number on change of stage dot maximum measures. Settings change true, foreground color frame that. Okay, let's see how we're looking. Don't think I have a preview. I do. Okay. And then next week I'm off, and the following week or two, we're going to do a little bit of a different project around a calculator and working with View Inspector and seeing what we can do. Okay, interesting. It doesn't put the label on the number. This one got quantized by, I think that may have been actual text. Yeah, I think that label maybe ends up more of a maybe supporting accessibility or something. Okay, so let's put that. And we want this to say limit number of measures. Okay. And yeah. Let's see, number of measures, sorry, checkbox in Swift UI. Is it just a regular button and you have to give it a, yeah, toggle style. Oh, toggle, okay. Yep. Oh, we can put the label in there, all right. And this is stage dot limit measures. I don't know, colon maybe. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Now that should control that pretty well. All right, let's run. sometimes it's just so easy to push over these things. The framework's doing a bunch of stuff. All right, let's open our big file. Oh, quantize. Yeah, we got that in there. Limit number of measures. Okay, do we have a long one? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that's that long. That one is. Number 2, error. Okay, so let's limit the number of measures. Let's see if number 2 got affected. Number 2, error. Well, 32 may have not done anything. Let's do 16. Okay, I saw some blips. Yeah, so he's substantially shorter with 16 measures. I guess 32 is, he probably is 32 if he didn't change much before. But now you can see these are all much closer in size, and the differences in their starts, this one's almost all down, this one's almost all up. This one might be more similar to that one that's mostly down. All right, I'm going to put the cluster in too, just for good measure. All right, so we can see this chunk. Yeah, they're not great matches to each other. Let's try the no scalons. Let's take this group. They look like the closest. Actually, these are probably pretty close too. Okay, yeah, I mean they're not identical, but they're pretty good. All right, and then if we turn this off, that should affect the clustering. Well, will it? Oh, we didn't detect a change there. Okay, so this change doesn't show up. This one should. Everybody limited? They're all short, but are they 8? Let's do 2. I don't know. Something's not updating. On change of maximum measures, this thing should flag a change. All right, and I think also we can kind of take that same attitude on the other field too. Okay, put the limit in. All right, right now we got some long ones. Let's put a filter in too. I'm only going to take errors. All right, I can see that list now. All right, limit them to 8. Should not matter. Because we didn't turn on limit measures. That should do something though, and has not. Oh. Something's off. Guys, call. That's been okay, but that's a file read. I think we've got some sort of update across our thing. I don't think we're getting new IDs when the packet changes, when the numbers change. So let's check this out. Does somebody, what's the packet? Output ID. Right. Yeah, we need to change things. Where is output ID? It's in transform. We need to be doing this when we're changing. I don't know. I just want to put it in. Let's just put in the one, run it, make sure. Yeah, good point. Okay, so turning, well, let's filter air. We can see that easier. All right, we'll open our big file. All right, so we got 5 or 6 there. All right, let's add quantize. If I change this, well, it should redo it. Okay, oh, it did. That's definitely shorter. Okay, and if I do to 4, oh yeah. Okay, so I think I think that's going to leave us a place to pick up. I don't think I'm going to test it in 10 minutes. Can I test it? Or how can I test it, I should say. I mean, I guess I can tell because the transform produces a different packet based on this output ID. And if it doesn't do this, then it won't show that change. Well, maybe we can just put that in. So this transform test. Okay. Add settings. Right. Okay, let's take this. Output ID changes when published field changes. Okay, so if I get something, okay, so I quantize it with the default settings. I changed numerator and denominator. I think we can make the test better than that. But I run setInput 2 and I transform again. Okay, so this is one of these assert not equals result 1.id does not equal result 2.id, or should not equal. Okay, because numerator and denominator changed. We'll deal with one of them at a time in a minute here, but I believe this test will fail. Yeah. So it retained it even though the number changed. Okay. So that sorry, on stage, that justifies this on, well, let's make it numerator. All right, I'm going to make, let's just do that and that. This should still fail. Okay. And then if I do this, all right, I think the test should pass. Okay, so let's make this more of a helper method. Check output ID changes when publish field changes, and we're going to pass in, I basically want to do that. So I think you're going to give me a stage. You know, there's that key field thing. I wonder, I've never known how to pass that as an argument. All right, but I'll just pass a quantizer stage and a method. Yeah, key path. Can I pass a key path as an argument? No, I don't want to. Yeah, thank you. No, that's a string one. Casting p pass has functions. Yeah, that's what I want. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so it's the equivalent of bracket $0 .name. So I think that is, let's say key path, and he's, nothing goes to, $0 his favorite. Well, I guess it's a value. Nothing goes to V, and I don't know, do I want a value of type V? I don't need the stage if I can do this. I'm going to keep going for a few more minutes here just to try and get through this. All right, so let's try it out. Well, here's my hope. I'm going to call check. Let's rename this. Okay, check out what ID changes. key path, I don't know what to say. Slash dot numerator becomes 2. If you have to do a multiple argument function type, nothing goes to int. Okay, maybe I can't quite do this. All right, let's pass the stage. Let's pass a void function called mutate, and the value will be implicit there. Okay, so check output ID changes. Let stage equal Quantizer stage. Okay, we're going to pass stage and stage dot numerator equals 2. All right, and call can throw. Maybe I don't have to do that if I do that. Okay. No. Okay. Now I think I can. All right, stage dot limit measures is true. I think this one should pass. We're doing a little bit sequential. All right, but I've got another test. To your point. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait. Do I have... Why did that second one pass? This one did change. Oh, I didn't use my stage. Jeez. Okay, let's transform equals stage. Do this, do that. Yeah. I didn't call mutate. Jeez. All right. Now, I think number 4. Oh, they won't void here. Invalid redeclaration. If limit not set. Okay, that's the test I want. Let's get this one. I'm hoping it fails now. Okay. And which one did it fail in? Denominator. Okay, good. Because I haven't done this to denominator yet. And this one failed because it's only... This one's tricky. Okay, I think this one, where it starts out false, this one should fail, but it's going to pass. Okay. I may have to be more explicit there. I don't know. This all looks like... Okay, maximum measures does not have this on it. All right, let's make this one pass. Okay, but this test, wait, yeah, this last test, now I'm a little off. This test should not pass. Well, okay, this test should not pass. This test passed because stage was already changed. Okay. That one passes. Okay, but this one should be different. And I'm going to flip this in here. Okay, transform equals stage. Input mutate is this code. Okay. Let's change this up here. Okay, so we set this to false, we get a packet, we transform it, and we get result 1. These should be equal. Because maximum measures, resetting it has no impact when this is false. Okay. All right, so this test should fail. Let's say when limit. Okay, so this test should fail. It does not. Okay, wait. Wait, what? Result to ID. Okay, I don't want to go all day here. Okay, so this does change maximum measures, and yet result 2ID is the same. Okay, so when you're setting it, we're going to reset the output ID first. And yet we did not. How is that possible? Okay, so we set limit measures to false, which is redundant. Maybe that's not worth doing. Yeah, I don't know why why it's saying it didn't change. It shouldn't, but I don't see any code that would prevent it, you know? I mean, I definitely thought I was going to have to say, if limit measure set, then change the output ID, or then reset, but not if it's false. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very puzzled. Okay, we get our stage, we get our packet, we get the result. Okay. Okay, that's failing as it should. Okay, now let's check this. Okay. If limit measures, then reset the output ID. All right, now that should pass. All right, let's take that. Test that output ID resets when parameters change. Okay, and I'll do a quick run. Oops, sorry, line 82. Oh, gosh. Thank you. Okay, and then let's make this be stage. Whoops. Probably should try to do that refactoring. Okay. Let's go on. Let's filter by air. Let's put a quantizer in. If we change this to quarter notes, let's change it to 16th notes. Everybody looks big. And it did update. Change it back to quarter. Change this one. Yep. Change this. Should not do anything. Good. Turn this on. Should. And now edit. And it does. Okay, cool. I think we are there. Let's put that in our to-do. All right, nice little feature there. Okay, that should do it. I appreciate going a little extra long with me today. We have this in a pretty decent state, and I'm definitely going to try and I'll do some bundling it up and make sure my my customer, one so far, can do some work with it, and we'll take a week off and couple weeks of week or two on a calculator, and then back to either this project or another probably good sized one. All right, thank you well, Game Moresque and Mudshark666 for speaking up. And you all have a good weekend, good week next week, and I'll catch you in the future. Thanks. Bye-bye.